What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Question, where you have the questions and I have the answers. And today I'm going to be presenting to you a headcanon I have / a film theory I have about Helluva Boss. I wasn't going to make this video, but this is a headcanon I've had for a while, and I shared it with my friend Maddie, who is also a huge Helluva Boss fan, and she said that I should make a video about it. And I decided to because I haven't made a video in a while and I feel kind of bad about that. I haven't been posting much to any of my social medias just because I've been really busy, not just with college, but also a lot of personal drama that I've been having in my life recently. If you listen to my poetry, that has a lot to do with it. Also because talking about asexuality, which this is an asexuality related headcanon, makes me really, really happy. So without further ado, on to the video. Oh, and if you are new, I upload very irregularly. I think this is the first video I've made in like 2 months. So I'm sorry about that. Also, I make political / historical educational content. I also do film review, and now I'm doing film theory videos. We're just expanding all the things. I basically make videos about whatever the fuck I want to make videos about. Sometimes they're life updates, sometimes they're like a really niche topic I really want to explain. Sometimes it's just me talking about something I think the people need to know. Yeah, so if that's what you're into, if you like me, if for whatever reason, if you're just bored, if you need to hit that daily subscribe quota, please hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I won't be spamming you with notifications because I don't upload that often. And share it with your friends. Give me a comment about some like opinion or review you want me to do, or something you want to learn. I'm down for anything. If you are worried about me and you want a life update, worry about that too. I don't think I'm gonna be posting any more poetry though, because that caused a lot of problems that I don't think were worth it. So I'm still gonna write poetry, I just don't think I'm gonna share it anymore. So for those of you who did listen to it and like it, thank you for your support. For those of you who listened to it and then misinterpreted it and caused needless drama in my life, fuck you. Now on to the video. So I was introduced to the show Helluva Boss over break by my friend Robin. And if you haven't watched Helluva Boss or you haven't heard of it, it's on YouTube. It's by Vivzy Pop, who also makes Has Been Hotel. Both are very good. You should definitely watch them. And my headcanon, and this will contain spoilers to the show, minor spoilers, not major ones. But so if you are interested in watching the show spoiler free, maybe don't watch the rest of this video until after you've watched the show. But if you have watched the show or you don't care about spoilers, just continue watching. My headcanon is about Blitz's sexuality. So I'm asexual, and you know, there's that joke that we headcanon everyone as asexual, or we project ourselves onto characters. I think everybody does that of any sexuality, but I feel like asexuals do it a lot more because we get a lot less representation than a lot of the queer community. But my headcanon is that Blitz is a sex positive or sex favorable asexual or demisexual. And I have evidence to back this up, but I have this headcanon initially because I don't want to say sex positive because I don't want to have sex, but I don't mind talking about sexual things or like doing minorly sexual activities. It doesn't make me uncomfortable, and I do enjoy it. And I feel like that's an aspect of asexuality that doesn't get a lot of representation in media, or in the community in general. And that even those asexuals that aren't sex positive or sex favorable, a lot of asexuals, it's a big thing in the asexual community that asexuals make a lot of sex jokes, or they're way more comfortable with sex-related topics. Some of us can be because we don't place such a high emphasis on it. and that nuance and that culture within the community isn't represented a lot. And so I thought it would be funny if Blitz, who is this like hyposexual creature in the show, was asexual. It could be a kind of ironic, kind of funny, you know? But the more I look into it, the more I actually seriously considered it, I think it could actually work as like a sex positive or sex favorable, asexual or demisexual, someone on the asexual spectrum. Okay, here's the evidence I had, and I tried to explain it to Maddie this morning, and I tried to explain it to my friend Phil this morning, so hopefully I can explain it to you guys. So throughout the show, Blitz is shown to be having sex and to be very hypersexual. He talks about sex a lot. He makes a lot of sexual innuendos and references and jokes. And of course, we know that he and Stolas are fucking at least once a month to uphold the agreement to have the book so that they can do their job. But that whole time between Blitz and Stolas' relationship, we only ever see Stolas actually being horny or asking for sex or really initiating any of the sexual interactions that they have. And while I do ship Blitz and Stolas, not right now, but like if we were to see further character development from both of them and like they work through their issues, I think they'd be great together. It's always ever like one-sided on the sexual part. And even though, and you see a lot of consternation and like kind of annoyance from Blitz, and that could be just him projecting he doesn't want to get close to anyone, but I think that's exactly the thing, is that he's in it not for the sex, he's in it for the personal intimacy and connection that he has with Stolas, and that's something that he both relishes in and is afraid of. And that's what he finds more annoying, other than Stolas like lusting after him. I don't think he actually is in the relationship for the sex. He doesn't like fuck for the sake of fucking. He has sex for the sake of that personal intimacy and connection, because we never see him be horny at all. You know, we see him make jokes about it and we see him talk about it, but we never really see him want to have sex with anyone. And the one time we do see any inkling of him being horny at all was when he was playing with those dolls he made of his employees, and he said, oh, you know, you're such a great boss, let's three-way. That's the only time we ever see him actually lusting after anyone. Even in, I think it was episode 6, when they're going back and he's offering, you know, to do sexual favors for Stolas in order to keep quiet about them being caught in the human world. It's not actually him, like, he's clearly not horny. He's just doing this because he knows Stolas will like it. He's doing it to please someone else, not for his own sexual gain. And I think that, once again, reinforces that he's with Stolas for personal intimacy and connection, more so than sex, but he thinks he can get that through doing sexual favors because he knows that's what everybody else likes. Anyway, back to being horny for his employees. I think that's less about him actually wanting to fuck his employees and more like he's envious of the actual really sweet romantic connection that Millie and Moxie has, and he wants to be a part of it. Because if it was just him being horny for his employees, I think he would more be horny for either of them individually as well, but he always goes after them as a couple. And so I think that's just him a reflection of him wanting that personal connection and to feel loved and valued, which he doesn't, and we know that he has like commitment issues and problems in relationships and abandonment issues, as we've seen through all of his broken relationships. He's very self-destructive in that, and so I feel like that is how he's manifesting it, is him being like, I want to fuck my employees, but really he's just like, I want what they have, and I don't know how to get that other than to be creepy and stalk them and watch them and be like, wow, that'd be so nice if that was me. Yeah, so that's all my evidence, and I just think that if Blitz was actually like canonically asexual or demisexual, it would add a lot of nuance and conversation to the asexual community, because asexuality isn't about whether someone wants to have sex or not, or whether they like having sex or not, is whether they feel sexual attraction to anyone. And while Blitz does have sex and he makes a lot of sexual jokes and talks about sex and he's very comfortable, he's a very sexual person, he displays a clear ambivalence to actually having sex. Like, he will do it, but you never see him wanting it or feeling any kind of like arousal towards things other than being personally intimate with someone, which I think would be a really interesting interpretation of asexuality and demisexuality that we don't see a lot in the media. And so this is my headcanon, and I don't know if it's gonna be canon, but I think it'd be so cool if it was. It's like Jessica Rabbit, who is a very sexualized character, but then she's asexual. Like, I think we need more characters like that, because I was telling my friend Philip this morning that the problem with a lot of asexual representation is that they present it in a kind of somber, serious way of like, oh, some people just like don't feel sexual attraction, they just don't want the sex bit, you know? And it's kind of like a sad thing of, oh, it's like you're kind of missing out, or there's something like weird about you. It's like, in reality, a lot of people, and I'm not saying that this isn't how it is, and in a lot of cases it is, but another large part of the community are people who are asexual and are fine being overly sexual people without having sex, or even with having sex and just like not feeling sexual attraction. And I think having different representations of these characters would be really great to see. And this is why I think Blitz from Helluva Boss is asexual. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about my personal headcanons. Have a great weekend. It is sunny here in Denver. It has been like 70s to 80s all week. So spring is upon us. Summer is closing in. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy all the things that make you happy, and enjoy just being yourself. Yeah. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes.